Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp with the August 2016 card kit, and I've created a set of star inlay cards using the vented star die from the kit, as well as stamps, cardstock, all kinds of good stuff from this kit. I also have some fun foam that has white cardstock on one side and the stick it on the other because I'm going to be die cutting a dimensional greeting for my card. But to start, I am going to use some of the embossed cardstock from the kit in both the craft and white, and I'm going to use a stitched rectangle die as well as the vented star die, and I'm going to die cut backgrounds. From that fun foam with the white cardstock front, I'm going to die cut several greetings with the Simon Says Stamp painted hello die. And I'm just going to get all of my components die cut and ready to put together my cards. This is a design that is really easy to create assembly line style. Plus, because I'm doing an inlay with the star and using multiple colors of cardstock for the star itself, I'm going to be left with leftovers if I only do one card. So I purposely created a set of them so that I wouldn't have a bunch of pieces left over and I wasn't doing anything with them. It's really almost as easy to create several cards at one time as it is to create one. So from each of these rectangles, I am actually going to get rid of all of these inside pieces because they've got little bits of embossing on them, so I really can't use those, or I don't want to use those for my card. And instead I'm going to use some of the red and navy cardstock from the kit to fill in my stars instead. On the craft rectangles, because they don't have a white background like the white embossed paper does, I will be using a little white cardstock for that as well, so I can do red, white, and blue. So I'm going to just die cut 4 of these backgrounds here, and I like to die cut as many pieces at once as possible, so I used a little post-it tape to hold the rectangle and the star in place to run those through my Big Shot machine. Go ahead and finish with my last one here. I love the designs in this kit. It's a really subtle tone on tone that might be a little hard to see here in the video, but in the photos I think you can see there's star background, that kind of fleur-de-lis background on the craft, and then the dots background on the other white card. So just really nice tone on tone backgrounds. They look great with the distress inks included in the kit as well if you wanted to add color to those, because those embossed areas will resist the ink. Now from that red and navy cardstock in the kit, you can see here I am die cutting that vented star again. But I need to be super careful to keep hold of all of these pieces because you can see that I've already laid some of them out here. I'm also using the Basic Banners die collection, and I've die cut 4 banners from white cardstock from the August kit, and then using soft navy and lipstick red die inks, I'm going to stamp 2 greetings on each of these banners. There's kind of what it's going to look like. I'll go ahead and stamp all of my banners at once now. So I have those all ready to go as soon as I get the inlay portion of putting these backgrounds together finished. I like the combination of the 2 colors of ink here too. I think it adds a nice bit of interest to the design. These banners are so great for adding greetings to cards. This is one of my very favorite ways to create an inlay. On the back of each of my panels, I'm going to completely cover the panel with foam adhesive. It's quick and easy to do with this Scotch foam adhesive, and it's also going to make sure that this panel is slightly dimensional on my card base itself. So it's going to serve 2 purposes. It's actually going to attach the inlay pieces, plus it's going to make this panel dimensional. So once I get that all covered and flip it over here, you can see that foam adhesive through all those little slots in the vented star die cut. I like to do this because instead of having to maybe put liquid glue or something in there as you're trying to inlay all those little pieces, it's already sticky. So I'm going to do several of them here at once. That's why I'm going ahead and attaching my foam adhesive to the back of my other craft star layer. But once I get that, I'm going to take both of those at the same time, take all of my inside pieces that I have die cut and set over to the side. They're just kind of out of the frame of the video. And I'm going to go ahead and do both of these at the same time. And then I'll do both of the white panels at the same time as well. So like I said, because this is a craft background, I decided to do red, white, and blue. And I'm going to, I guess, show the inlay portion on the white backgrounds themselves. So I've done the same thing, applied foam adhesive to the back of these panels. These are going to go every other red and blue. But no extra adhesive is needed. Just stick them right down there and that foam adhesive is going to hold them in place. It is super sticky, so make sure that you put the right color in the right place. Otherwise, it's a little tough to get up. I know this from past experience. Didn't work too good when I messed up once. If any of these pieces are really too small, I like to use the quick stick tool to pick up the teeny tiny ones and put them in place, simply because some of those up near the tops and then the bottom points of the star are so teeny tiny. So that quick stick tool is a lifesaver for picking them up and putting them exactly where you want them to go. So I will do both of these panels like that. Next, I can go ahead and start putting the whole design together. I'm going to attach my banner below the star inlay design. And I want to slightly overlap my dimensional die cut greeting over that banner. You can see the banner slightly hanging off of my background rectangle. I can trim that up in a little bit, but I'm going to pull that backing paper, that stick it adhesive that I've put on the back of the fun foam. I can remove that. So it makes my die cut a dimensional sticker, which I love. So it's sticking up a little bit and not flat to the design of the card. So there is one of them. Here is my two craft backgrounds. You can see that red, white, and blue that I was talking about a little bit ago. I'm attaching all the banners to the fronts of my cards now. The inlay does take a little bit of time, but really not that much. The most time-consuming part is trying not to lose any of those teeny tiny little pieces. I misplaced a couple of them and had to die cut the star again, which I wish I should have put them maybe in a little bowl or something so I wouldn't have lost them. Once I have that, I will attach the dimensional hello greetings. And really, the cards could be done as is at this point. I could attach this panel to a top fold card base. But I thought it needed just a little something extra. So taking the red and navy cardstocks from the kit, I am going to use a couple of older exclusive dies from Simon Says Stamp, the holiday shapes and the large holiday shapes. They have great stars in them. And I'm going to take these die collections and die cut a bunch of stars. And I need quite a few, but this is going to give me a nice assortment of sizes of star die cuts to add to my project. So I've got a couple of strips of cardstock here and I'm going to get a bunch of stars out of both of these. And I'm just going to die cut them several times. If you have a tough time getting any of the dies out of the dies themselves, or the die cuts out of the dies themselves, go ahead and take maybe like a straight pen or a needle or something and just kind of punch them all out. And I love the assortment here. They go from kind of a nice bigger size to teeny tiny, which is what I wanted. I wanted a whole assortment of different sized stars to decorate the front of the card. And of course, because I'm using that cardstock from the kit, it's all going to coordinate and complement each other really well. Go ahead and move all of that out of the way. I'm going to take my 4 card panels and I'm going to start attaching all of these stars to the panels. Some of the stars, you can see I put a smaller star on top of a bigger one for layered. You could do more of that if you wanted to. It just kind of depends on the look that you're going for, and I'm simply going to try to use up as many of these stars as possible. I did have several left over because I did die cut these quite a few times, so I had plenty of stars for all 4 cards. If that's the case, I like to just put them in a little container, or you could put them in a little plastic baggie or something. Hold on to them for another project, because I use stars and hearts, those basic shapes, a lot. So I hold on to all of my little die cut pieces like this so that when I'm looking for a small shape, I maybe don't have to go die cut something. The smaller, teeny tiny stars, I'm using the Zig glue pen to attach those. For any of the bigger ones, I'm using Zot's Bling glue dots. That way I don't have a whole bunch of liquid adhesive all over my cards. If you've seen my videos before, you probably know that I try to stay away from liquid adhesive a lot, just simply because I find that I don't always get it put exactly where I want it to go, and I can make a sticky mess sometimes, or that liquid adhesive mess. So I try to attach my small pieces like this with Zot's Bling glue dots, but I definitely love the Zig glue pen for those teeny tiny pieces. I like to put the glue on the card itself, then take the quick stick tool, pick up my star in this case, and then take it to my project. That's going to keep your fingers out of it. I'm taking the Teflon bone folder now with the top fold card bases. I'm going to fold that in half really good and score it, and then go ahead and remove the backing paper from my panels and attach those to the white card bases, and all of my cards are going to be finished. So just a great, easy way to create multiple cards using the August 2016 Simon Says Stamp card kit. Thanks for joining me today. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe for lots of inspiration. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.